Welcome back to Massive Meats. I'm Doug, and today's massive meat is this 10-pound beef tenderloin. Now this is the place where you get those delicious, juicy, and very tender filet mignon steaks. We're not cutting this for filet mignons today. We're gonna get some fillets off it after we smoke it, but there's three parts to this. You've got the main bit of meat, which is where your beef tenderloin, or excuse me, your filet mignons are from. You have the tail, which we're gonna cut a little bit off of. You have the chain, which is the section that connects it to the ribs. And then finally you have the head of it, which we're going to trim the head a little bit and shape it up, but we're gonna keep most of it on here. And anything we take off, we're gonna use as burgers later and grind that up. So first, let's get this thing started and trimmed up. One of the beautiful things about, a filet mignon is you can really start pulling apart with your hands that chain. You don't even need to use a knife. So if you can see it here, I'm already separating that from the fillet. Now, if you get into a hard spot, obviously you can cut it. There's a good bit of meat there, good bit of fat, some really hard fats. We'll make great burgers or great sausage even. Let's see if there's anything else. We can just pull at that seam with our hands. All right, we're already looking pretty good. Let's get a bit of the tail off. You can see on the back of it, some of this meat has oxidized a little bit already. It's just such a thin area, and sitting in that cryovac, it'll sometimes oxidize a little bit, but it's gonna be just fine. It's not bad. It just means it's not that bright red. Goes into our burger pile. And now we wanna get this silver skin off. With it spun around, you can see this is where you're getting your filet mignons from. Again, this is the head of it. You can see the length and shape. With this being the wider end, this being the more narrow end, we're gonna trim this head just a little bit so it cooks evenly. That's beautiful meat. You can see that marbling there, right? You can see that fat within it. That's gonna make this really juicy. And now we've got a pretty even piece of filet. Today we're going to be using Hi-Mountain Garlic Pepper rub. We're gonna start with that, followed by a light coating of Montreal steak seasoning, and then finished with a dusting of paprika, as you know, for a little bit of that color. And now we have a beautiful beef tenderloin. I feel like I described most of our meats as beautiful, and that's okay. But we have an awesome, massive tenderloin here. We started out at 10 pounds. We got our smoker, it's coming up to temperature, so let's pop over to it. So our temperature today that we're smoking at is 275 degrees, and we're cooking by temperature, not time. So we're gonna put an internal probe thermometer into it. We're shooting for 125 degrees internal temperature. That's when we know it'll be time to take it off, let it rest for a few, crank the smoker on up, and then give it a sear. We have a nice clean smoke rolling off, ready to go. Line this up right here nice and in the middle. Shape it, looks great. It's centered up. Put our probe thermometer right in the thickest part there in the middle. That'll give us a good read. Let me roll this a little bit. There we go. Awesome. We'll check back on it when it gets to its internal temperature of 125 degrees. We've hit our initial target internal temperature of 125 degrees. Oh yeah, That looks awesome already. So we have good color on that. I'm gonna take this out of here. You can see it's got a lot of that red color. I mean, that's a pretty piece of meat there. We're gonna let this rest right now. We're gonna set it off to the side. Now I do have a smoke stone in here that we were cooking indirect. We're gonna take that out, let this get hotter, crank the temperature up, and then we're gonna put it back on just so we can give it a quick sear. So let it rest while you get it set up, get it seared, and then it'll be time to take it off. Smoker's now up to 400 degrees, and we can sear really anywhere between 400 and 500 degrees. After 500, it starts to dry out meat pretty quickly, so anywhere in the 4 to 450 range is gonna be fine, up to 5. So let's get it on. We're gonna do just a couple minutes on each of the two sides, two big sides anyways. And you can see we are cooking direct here. You can hear that sear. Give it just a couple minutes and we'll flip it over. And turn it over. Let's give it a little longer, put it on its side. Just a little bit. And let's turn it on its last side there. Now we've got all 4 sides going. If we can get it. Gotta be careful, obviously. It's not gonna stand. I'm gonna say that's pretty good. Let's pull this off of here. Close this up. And now our crust is really formed. Our sear is there. Now the hardest part, the worst part, the wait. Let it rest, give it at least 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, 15 if you can handle it, and then we'll give it a taste. Let's take a minute to say thank you, a big massive thank you to Haley Home, haleyhome.com. You've heard me talk about them. They make beautiful custom cutting boards. If you want one with your last name on it, or if you want to put your own logo on it from your YouTube channel or your Instagram, whatever you want to do, or something special for your family, they can take care of you. Use code MASSIVE at checkout and everything on their website will be 15% off. Thank you, Haley Home. All right, now that the painful part of waiting is over, you can see we've got a real great crust on this. It's got awesome color. You can see the red coming through. You can see the crust from the Montreal steak and certainly the Hi-Mountain garlic pepper rub. Let's go straight to the middle. This is where it should be the most medium rare. It's so tender. See that steam coming through. You can see how juicy it is. Medium, medium rare. That looks delicious. I'm gonna cut a piece off from this one here. And you can see how juicy that is and how tender that is. All that just running through it. I mean, that's exactly where we want it. And now for the fun part. Let's give it a taste. Oh my God. That is so tender. That is so tender. I mean, this is very much where you're getting the filet mignon cuts from. So it's as tender as you would think a normal filet mignon would be. Plus you combine that with, you know, low and slow and smoking and making some barbecue, and it's amazing. The crust on that is perfect. It really goes well as a good contrast to that moist and tender insides. Incredible. I would say maybe my new favorite thing that we've made. One of the best things I think we've made for the channel so far. So we'll just take these, basically cut them into filet mignon sized here. These nice thick cuts. This is gonna make for an awesome dinner here. And again, we're probably about, you know, once you give it a minute to settle in, let those colors settle in, you're probably sitting at medium rare in the middle. And the further out you go, the more to medium you'll get. But really, either way, whether it's medium rare, it's as juicy as could be. So it doesn't make a difference in terms of that. So thank you for checking us out. I have to say bye because this is delicious and I need to eat the rest of it quickly. And Mrs. Massive Meats is eyeing me up wanting a piece, not of me, but of the tenderloin as well. She's shaking her head no. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. We do appreciate you checking it out. Please like the video, it means a lot. I know I've said that, but it really does. Please subscribe to the channel, and if you hit the little bell that's somewhere around there, you'll be notified when a new video comes out. So thank you, and we will see you on the next one.